Again, this is the first stop on your financial wellness journey, right? And the only stop for employee information. Set new goals. What do I want to save? You should. Do I want to budget? You should. Do I want to invest? You should, right? This is the time to make those goals and try to hit them. And like Walt said, don't bite off more than you can chew. You can't save $1 million if you only make 100 a year. You know what I mean? You're not saving
Yeah,
1 million this year.
yeah.
Don't make a goal that's not reachable. You setting yourself up for failure. Welcome back, folks. This is another episode of It's About Your Paycheck. This is episode number 12. We're talking about New Year's goals and specifically New Year's goals for employees. And before we dig in, what's up, Walt? How you doing today, sir?
Good, man. Football today.
Oh,
Uh,
no doubt.
you
Listen, yeah,
know,
that's right. There was a game
uh,
yesterday too, right?
Dallas played. That's
Dallas
right. So
lose?
I know they almost did. You didn't see the end of the game, but there was like
No.
it was the final play. Detroit drove the ball down, scored a touchdown, went for a 2-point conversion, got it, but they got a flag on the play, and then tried to do it again, and then there was a flag on the defense again, and then they tried it a third time. So 3 times they tried the 2-point
Two-point
conversion,
conversion.
and then they ended up not getting it and losing. Detroit lost
Oh.
by like I think 1 point. They lost by 1 point. Yeah, it was ended up being a good game.
I got two.
I'm expecting some good games today. Our boys played the Baltimore Ravens, so by next
Ooh,
week when
that's
this
gonna be a
post
good game.
when we have injuries, so
Oh,
man, we have a bunch of injuries. Like our top running back is out, our second receiver Waddle, he's out. We have a bunch of injuries on our line. Everybody's dealing with injuries, but the Ravens, I feel like, have more healthy people
less
than we do.
injury, right?
Yes, but
Woo.
hey, any given Sunday,
Any
next man
given
up,
Sunday, sir.
next
That's
man
right.
up.
Any given
So we'll
Sunday.
see.
All
So
right, good luck. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, those would be some good games to watch for sure. I just got arrogant Cowboy friends and family, so I hate when the Cowboys win. I just want them to lose. I don't want them there. And I get mad at New Yorkers who are Cowboy fans. They're like, "How dare you? How we got 3 teams in the state? How dare you?" And we got great teams in the region and closer. You all the way in that? Come on.
and the Giants have more recently won a Super Bowl than the Cowboys.
Those of you on audio, I got a real ugly face on right now for the Cowboys. Anywho, it's about your paycheck today. So
New
we're talking
Year's
about New Year's,
goals.
right? What does New Year's mean to you? And for me, I don't like getting caught up in the new year, new me, but I don't discount
Mm,
opportunity for fresh starts and being proactive. And I don't discount if New Year's, new me works for you, God bless you. It just doesn't work
yeah,
for me. I'm more of the school of thought. If you need to change in that, change. Change immediately, plan it, start it, because it takes time anyway. So what about you, bro?
man. 2 words: reflect and connect.
I love
Right.
it.
So
Flex.
reflect on the year past. What did I accomplish? And what didn't I accomplish? Right. Reflect on
Right.
those things. Appreciate the wins that you had, but then also reflect on, hey, what losses did I take
Yeah.
professionally and
Yeah.
personally
Personally,
this
yeah.
year that I could be better from? There's some stuff that I went through personally that, man, they were sharp, hard lessons, and I'm still irritated about them right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
But what can I do better in 2024?
Mm.
This episode is presented by TimeTraKGO, the simply better employee time clock software that is going to make your life easier. In addition to the unique graphical employee time card that helps you quickly identify and fix mistakes, TimeTraKGO is excited to announce it's now compatible with QuickBooks Desktop, providing effortless data transfer and reduced errors. TimeTraKGO will not only save you time and money each week, but the easy to understand user interface and the ability to turn an ordinary tablet into an employee time clock will get you and your team up and going in just minutes. Find out what a simply better solution can do for your business. To learn more and sign up for your 14-day free trial, go to www.timetrakgo.com. That's TimeTrak go.com or call 888-321-9922. Let's go. So I don't have to experience those things going forward. And then the connect pieces about connecting with others, connecting with loved ones, friends, family,
Yeah.
like coworkers, peers, whatever it is, networking, like those, about connecting with people.
Yep.
Because I think they said depression is at an all-time high, like all these different things, all these pressures people are feeling. That's why it's important to have people in your corner that you can connect with, that will
give you that shot of energy, that will chin check you, that will
Hmm.
hold you accountable. Having those different people in your corner to help you. Yeah, that's what's in the importance about connections. Having
Yes,
those connections with people outside of
agreed.
yourself. And don't, like something Brian tells me all the time, just don't sit at home in the dark brooding.
Yep.
Just don't sit at home in the dark brooding.
You,
Connect.
you get one day
Get
to
out.
have a bitty party. That's it. After that, you got to
No,
take
man.
actions for change. So take us through your suggestions for best practice. Basically, guys, we'll just give you some suggestions as an employee, right? Looking at your paycheck, and what do I need to? How do I empower myself? How do I get some financial wellness this year? What are some of the things I could do to really help my career, help me save money, financial wellness, personal wellness, right? So Walt's got some suggestions. I got some suggestions. Take it away for us, Walt.
So I have 5 different things. The first one, you want to set clear goals. So define specific and achievable professional goals for the upcoming year. You want to set goals for yourself. Yes, it's good to have lofty goals, but you want to make sure that you're able to achieve those
Yes.
realistically. Just don't say, "Hey, by the end of the year, I'm gonna get 5 certifications this year."
It's not even
Like,
possible.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do all of it
I'm
this
gonna be a
year.
doctor this year. I'm
Yeah,
gonna become
yeah.
an MD.
You said like, there's some things that are low hanging fruit that you can accomplish that are easy. There's
Yep.
other things that may be a little bit higher up the tree that
Yep.
that will take some more work and that you may need some help on, but you want to make sure that you are able to achieve those things. You want to have short-term and long-term goals for the
Absolutely.
new year. So set clear goals for your
Nice.
professional life. Again, like I said earlier, is the connect piece, right? You want to boost your networking. Strengthen your professional work net worth by network, not net worth, but you might want to strengthen your net worth too, but
Word.
strengthen your professional network by attending industry events
Yep.
or or connecting with colleagues, right? If you're in payroll, go to the payroll conference if you can.
Local chapters.
Go
You
to
can
your
go to your
local
local
chapters.
chapter.
You
There's
may
yep.
there may be some free events.
Yep.
Like Google that stuff. There may be some free
Yes.
events that may somebody may be having or webinars and stuff like that that you can connect with other people in the industry. That's
Yep.
how we learn and how we grow, right? By connecting with others and connecting with our colleagues in the industry. So you want to boost your network. This is big for me because this has helped me and something I'm still working on now is you want to have a communication tune up. This is number 3. You want to tune up that communication. So what does that mean? Improve your communication skills, both written and verbal, to be clearer and have more effective interactions, right? Sometimes you ever met someone in the industry and in the email, they're so great, right? They're so great in the email, but when you speak to them in person, you're like, "Oh, is this the same person?" You know what I'm saying? Like, is this the same person? So you want to work on both facets of the communication, right? Both written and verbal. Verbal, and I also want to add one here. You want to work on your body language too.
Yes. That's
You,
a good one.
like
Yeah. Good call out.
if you go into a meeting and you're always arms folded and
Yeah. I try
crossed,
not
like
to do it.
you got the
It's
screw face,
comfortable.
you got the screw
Yeah.
face on you. Like people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're defensive, Walt." It was what I'm saying. Like that is a part of communication. So
Yes.
you want to tune up on those things, right?
Yep.
Learn a different word. You hear somebody use a word like, "Oh, what does that mean?" Something I used
Yes.
to, and this is I'm telling on myself. You're probably gonna call me a little nerd or whatever. But if when I was younger, we had a thesaurus and a dictionary, and I would hear words on TV or hear somebody at school, one of the teachers say a word, and I was like, I don't know what that means. And I would go look at that word and I would say for the week, I'm going to use this word in a sentence for this week and make it a permanent part of my vocabulary. That
Nice.
helped me as a kid. And that's just a little tool that you can do or a strategy that you could use to help you tune up your communication, both verbal and written.
Nice.
Number 4, mentorship. Consider becoming a mentor or
Or getting a
finding
mentor. Yeah.
a mentor to share experiences with and get some guidance.
Good
One of
one.
the things that are going to help you in your career as a payroll professional and an employee is either helping someone else or becoming a mentee and having that mentor guide you and uplift you and build you up. And that's what you want to do. That's what you really want to do. You want to make sure that you connect with somebody who can actually help you accentuate and thrive in your career and really make sure that
Good one.
they're a
Yep.
mentor. because some people may call themselves a mentor, but they may not be good at it. So
Yeah,
find the
you
right
gotta vet
person.
it. You gotta find exactly. You gotta find the
Find
right
the right
person.
person. And then last but not least, this is something that I didn't learn until actually, I think it was Brian that kind of just opened my eyes to it because I had never thought about it. I had been a manager for, I think it was my first time being a manager or second time being a manager over someone. And I had never thought about this. I just accepted what the company offered me.
Right.
You want to brush up on those negotiation skills
Hmm.
for your salary discussions
Yes.
or other workplace matters. You want to be able to negotiate,
Hmm.
having the ability to negotiate and say it, that. So basically what that means is that, hey, I'm willing to find compromise, I'm willing to find common ground, show what value you bring, because as we always say, you are your brand, so you have to fight for your brand, you have to advocate for your brand and say,
Yep.
hey, my brand, this is what I do, this is what I say, this is how I operate, these are my accomplishments, these are my achievements, I feel like I am worth this, and establish that, and then you'll be able to negotiate it. Just don't accept what you're being offered.
And at the perfect times for that is when you are interviewing, negotiating, right, getting offer letters, and your performance reviews,
Yep.
right? Though that's when you do it. It's if you bring it up out of the nowhere, it's very uncomfortable for managers. Not that you can't, not that it's impossible, but it's uncomfortable. And then you can't guarantee your results. They
So let me ask you this. This is going down a thing here because you said it's
sure.
uncomfortable for managers,
Yeah.
but are we there as employees to make them comfortable? Because it's really about our brand. How many times have we seen? For me, I can say I've seen people that have put in a notice, a 2 weeks notice, and hey, I'm
Hmm.
out
Yeah.
because you're not giving me. And then the company's like, oh, wait, don't leave. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's a tactic that some people use. It's a risky one because your company might be like, all right, see you later. Or
Look,
if
if
you're
you're
at,
willing to leave,
yeah,
then it is you can approach anytime you want because
yeah,
that is the risk, right? Because you can come to me if you just had your performance review and then you come into me a few months later, hey, I'm not happy with it, blah 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 blah. All right, I'm sorry, we just had a review. You agreed, you signed off,
hmm.
and that's it until the next review. Unless you have a business case for something else, that's it. If you're willing to leave, bye.
Let me ask you a question so I can understand it. When you said uncomfortable, did you mean like not boxing them in a corner, but you meant like you put them on alert?
It can be
Like
all of that, right? It's all of
okay,
that.
okay,
It's you're putting your manager in an uncomfortable position, meaning
okay.
now they have to re-justify to you why you get paid what you get paid. Now they have to deal with, oh crap, is he leaving? Now I need to go start looking for someone to backfill because this person might be leaving. So I need to start interviews. Let me put an ad out. Let me talk to HR, recruitment. Starts all these things that you may not have intended, right?
Yeah, I remember that I tried that strategy once in my career, right? I'm gonna give them a month's notice. That's what I thought to myself. I was young. I was earlier
Yeah,
in my
it
career.
sounds young. Yep. Hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna give them a month's notice and give them time to do this. They called me into HR. All right, you don't have to give us a month. You can give us 2 weeks, and
Yep.
so Friday is gonna be your
It's your
last day.
last day. Yep.
Like, my face changed. It was like,
Yep. That's
wait,
right.
what?
That's right.
Uh,
There you go.
uh.
Because that wasn't the way to approach it,
Mm-mm.
right? And if you're willing to leave, then yeah, you can approach it anytime you want because you're willing to go. But if
Yep.
you're not and you're trying to just build and you have to understand like those ebbs and flows at your job. And again, you don't want to bring up money unless you have a good business case, right? You can't, oh, I just want to make more money. Oh, the one that drives me crazy is, oh, because my personal life demands it.
Ah,
That's not that. Again, I don't know if it was this show or the last show I just said it on that folks, businesses don't go in business to satisfy your needs, our employee needs. A good company does recognize keeping your employees as good practice, but that's not why we start businesses. We don't start businesses to keep our employees happy. We start business to make money. And if you interfere and you're going to impact that making money part, there are a ton of people out there here to replace you. Yes, good talent is usually paid well. And if you're not, then yes, you need to keep it moving. Those are the things that you just gotta be kind of a little mindful of
just
when it
one.
comes to negotiating.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you what you meant by uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
no, no
And
doubt.
that's it for me.
No doubt. No doubt. My suggestion for folks, I got 5 as well. So this a new year, right? And what do you got to review as an employee is when it comes to your paycheck? Review your tax withholdings. Are you still in a good, does this still make sense? You're about to file your taxes, right? If you can, and you can get guidance from your filer, whoever's doing it for you, or do the math, right? Everybody, some people does it themselves, right? But the basic understanding with taxes is that if if I get a lot of money back when I file taxes, that means you overpaid during the year. If I owe at year end, that means you didn't pay enough during the year. If you, depending on how that works, you want to be you may want to adjust. There's a school of thought, I think it's Susie Orman, who says like, why are you giving the government the money all year long and then waiting for it to come back to you at the end of the year? She says you will never get back the overage that you sent them. So she says it doesn't pay for you to use that as a savings account. People say, "Oh, I use that as a savings account." No, then that's silly because the government is making money on that money, on your money all year long, and then they give you some of it back. You
Hmm.
understand? Because the way the tax code works, it's built for their favor, not ours. Unless
Hmm.
you're taking the time to understand tax code and how to avoid, which most of us don't. We just run through the standard deductions and lies, very cut and dry, and you get money back. You're thrilled. Oh yeah. How? What if you could have not paid them at all, and then paid them, hey, a little 500, little thousand at the end of the year, and that puts you in a better money situation. There's a lot there for reviewing and updating tax withholding because the laws, personal situations can change. Employees should review their W-4 forms and adjust accordingly, right? It's particularly
Hmm.
important if you had major life changes. Think about that too. If you got married, if you had a kid, if you get divorced, that
Hmm.
impacts your tax. So you want to adjust for that every year. And if you're not educated, you want to get educated. Stay listening to the show. We'll tell you more, right?
Yep.
Number two is check for changes in pay. If are you due a raise at the beginning of the year? Are you due some type of bonus? Are you due an adjustment? Unfortunately, what happens in 1/1 is that our checks reset, our tax amounts, everything resets. You
The
could have,
limits.
yeah, the limits reset. The Social Security limit is going up this year. So if you're a high earner, you're gonna pay more to Social Security this year. If sometimes like little things happen in localities where you may pay a local tax for like $100 or $50 a month, and but it only goes till June half the year, and then maybe your check went up the last 6 months, and now it went back down because now you have to pay that tax again starting 1/1. So that's a common question or a common call we get as payroll. We get the phone call, NHR, of course. My check is wrong. No, it's not wrong. Things reset, the rates went up. So you got to understand those rates and impacts. Again, study your check. Look at the last 6 months. Look at your totals. Get help if you need it. Listen to the show. It will guide you. So you want to salary changes, raises, what else? Make sure your pay stub is on point. This is the first paycheck of the year. This will dictate the rest of the year for you. So if you miss it now, you're going to miss it every paycheck.
And if you have trouble, we said this in another show, if you have trouble understanding your pay stub, reach out to your payroll
Payroll.
HR team.
Yes, they will help you. I had a classic case where I had an employee who paid the wrong state, a tax all year long. And it
Yeah.
came out to be like $1,000 at the end of the year. They didn't notice, right? You're an hourly employee. It's tough to keep track, and especially if you're not looking at your pay stub.
Yeah.
But when did he look at the pay stub and look at everything? Come year end when he went to file taxes. Then he was like,
Yep.
I don't live in this state. I've been paying this state all year. That's not
Yep.
always on payroll. Like that's, you know,
You could have moved during
you
the
could
year.
have, yeah, we don't know.
Yep.
So look at those things. Look at your first check of the year and make sure everything's right. Make sure you understand all the codes, right? A lot of times paychecks is just little codes on there on your paycheck. And what does that mean? Call
Hmm.
them, call your pay, email your pay, get them to answer. So
Yep.
that was number two. Just make sure check for changes in your pay, right?
Yep.
Number three, utilize employee benefits. Ooh, this is a good one, right? If you can afford to contribute to 401k, I argue that you cannot afford to do it. But if you can afford to contribute to 401k, Understand the limits, understand how that is and how and that impact. And it's what's called a pre-tax, right? Go back to one of our first episodes in this series that we talked about pre-tax deductions and how that impacts your paycheck. It actually lowers your tax liability. So if you have pre-tax deductions, it lowers the amount you have to pay the government, right? There's math there to do it, and reach out to us and we could help out as well. But your open enrollment choices, right? If you just had open enrollment, Jan 1 is when those new choices start coming out of your check. Make sure that those deductions are what you picked and that it matches your enrollment, right? Because you may have a little bit of a grace period depending on your company. Not all companies can have to give you grace. You did your open enrollment 2 months ago and now you realize it's wrong, you may be stuck. Okay.
Yeah.
So just be mindful because they gave you enough time to review and to confirm. And depending on how your system is, you got an email that said, this is what you picked. Starting Jan 1, this is what's going to come out of your check. So be mindful of those things. But still, if it's wrong, you can make your case, try to do what you got to do. If it's not right, you got to try to fix it, right?
Yep.
Take advantage of health and savings accounts, FSA accounts, flexible spending accounts. Again, all these things pre-tax and it helps you manage your money.
Yes.
That was number 3. Number 4, set financial goals for yourself, right? Again, this is the first stop on your financial wellness journey, right? And the only stop for employee information. Set new goals. What do I want to save? You should. Do I want to budget? You should. Do I want to invest? You should, right? This is the time to make those goals and try to hit them. And like Walt said, don't bite off more than you can chew. You can't save $1 million if you only make 100 a year. You know what I mean? You're not saving
Yeah.
$1 million this year.
Yeah.
Don't make a goal that's not reachable. You're setting yourself up for failure.
And another thing, another key point on here with all these things, the benefits, everything that you mentioned so far, and you're going to mention on this last one, the key point in this is doing your research,
Yes.
finding the right solutions for yourself,
Yep.
trusted solutions.
Yes.
That is the most important piece of this, right? You can set all these goals and do all these things, but if you don't do your research, you could do yourself a disservice.
Yeah. Absolutely right. And then perfectly, like Walt said, number 5 is educate yourself about employee rights, pay laws. Stay listening to the show because we're going to cover these things state by state and help you out. But stay informed, right? There's overtime rules. Oh gosh, there was just a big, I heard something on one of these news podcasts. They were talking about holiday pay, or was it my wife? I think it was my wife talking to her employees, but the holiday pay policies, right? Oh yeah, it was like
Mhm.
calling in the day before a holiday or calling in the day after. That in some companies that excludes you from being paid for the holiday. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Again, it's all fresh with the holidays. Overtime is impactful. Understand what your rights are, your pay rights, your overtime, your leave. This knowledge is crucial when you to ensure that your employer is compliant, right? Make sure you're being treated fairly. There was a good one on I love TikTok right now and social media, period, because there's a lot of little clips on employee relations, like how dynamics. There's this funny cartoon one about overtime and they, oh yeah, it was Christmas. I'm sorry to go down, but this is it's applicable, right?
Mhm.
The the cartoon was, and it's always Veronica. It was, hey Veronica, I don't know the manager's name, but it's, hey Veronica, I noticed you didn't pick up my call or you didn't answer my email I sent you on Christmas Eve. And the employees, yeah, no, yep, you're right. I'm checking emails right now because it's like the assumption was it's Tuesday morning now after the holiday, right? And she's like, yeah, oh, if you sent it, I'm going to see it in a few minutes. I'm checking emails right now. It just got to work, blah, blah, blah. It's 9 o'clock, whatever. And she said, no, but I sent it on Christmas Eve. And she's, yeah, I'm an hourly employee and I don't get paid to work from home or after hours. And I don't have an email on my phone. And she's, oh, yeah, but there was when you started, IT could help you download the company's email on your phone. And she, no, I opted out of that. And basically just goes into how if you want access to me out after hours, you have to pay me accordingly. You have to be in compliance and you have to pay me accordingly if you
Mhm.
want access to me after hours. And I love it because it's really
It's called work-life balance.
absolutely, yeah, work-life balance. And there's laws, there's compliance there.
Mhm.
And that's what it is. Educate yourself, right? Know your pay rights, know your paycheck rights. Know what they can and cannot do in your check. There's another one out there that talks about deductions, and it was like, oh, I overpaid you by accident, and they're like, oh, we're gonna have to take it back, and he's like, I already spent it. In California, you cannot just take money, and it's other states as well. But in California, you can't just take money, and New York is another one. You can't just take money back without the employee's signed
Mm-hmm.
written permission.
I didn't make the mistake.
That's right.
You overpaid me.
You overpaid me.
Now, see, the employee does have a responsibility to make sure, from a standpoint, that they are checking their stub, and that they're checking, if they're hourly, especially, that they're checking their time card, right? It's
For real.
law.
Yep.
But the employee needs to sign something before you deduct their wages. And if they don't sign it,
So
might be on you.
the employer's recourse after that is if they take you to small claims court. That's right. And that's it. But like in this scenario with this clip that I saw, and he's, I thought I got a raise. And it's very,
it was on TikTok. I think.
It's on TikTok, yeah. And it was, these are scenarios that happen all the time. Oh wow, I got a little bump in my pay. Awesome. Shoot, if it happens around the holidays, oh, I got a holiday bonus. Yay.
That's a blessing.
Again, yep. Won't he do it? And folks don't look at their paychecks enough.
Yeah.
Right. And you should, because so you can understand these things.
Yes.
And yeah, you may be in a state where your company can't take it back, but then now you have to think about how that impacts. All right, do I want to be that employee that tells them F you can't take it back, I'm not signing crap, and make them go to court? Or do I want to play ball and be like, all right, listen, I'll pay it back, but I can only pay you back $10 a paycheck.
I forgot.
You have power there.
Yeah, I forgot to clock out, so it's my responsibility to do it. Like, you have some employees that are like, I need this money.
Yeah,
I don't want to pay back anything.
Look,
I've been in situations like that where an employee has been overpaid, and I have to call them and be like, hey, you got overpaid. That's not my fault.
That's correct. Yep. But you're associated to a missed punch or not. It could be a straight company error.
No, yes, I'm not saying. I'm just saying
it doesn't have to be a missed punch.
Card.
Yeah,
it could be anything.
A variety of things that get you the wrong money.
Yeah,
and in that scenario, there's more accountability. But in the scenario where the employee has zero to do with the error, thanks for the money.
Yep.
And again, you have the power to say, sure, I'll pay back. If you're in a good company and you love your job and you're in a good situation, then that would disrupt things. And then you can pay it back as slowly as you can, as you want. Because all they want to do is get the money back. And then you could just be like, hey, I'll give you $10 a paycheck till it's paid back.
Yep.
You could sign something that says, yeah, when I leave here, I'll pay it back. You don't think about the power we have as employees. Right. But to your point, in negotiation, we don't always negotiate as we should.
That's going to help you negotiate. You know what? Yeah, I was overpaid, but I can only afford this.
I already spent it. I thought it was mine.
Yeah.
I ain't got it anymore. So I'll pay you back what I can.
Yeah, man. Those are great. You had some great nuggets here for the people, man.
Likewise, man. So thanks, folks. Happy New Year. Hope you guys take some of this stuff and apply it into the next 12 months. Be proactive. And keep learning, keep listening. Come back for more.
Happy New Year's. Happy 2024.
Happy New Year's, folks. Peace.